What's up, YouTube? What's up, man? What's up, YouTube, man? Tonight, we're going to talk about service business mistakes. Uh, Build a correction loop that protects trust. And trust is big with clients. All right. And so I'm going to go off a couple of issues that I've had and certain things that I put in place. And that has made things a little bit better. And hopefully that you can get some about it. A good business is not proven by never making mistakes. It is proven by what happens after the mistake. All right. So after you make the mistake, after the standards break, after something else goes awry, how do you actually bounce back? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I want to give a couple of people time to get in. I came in just a tad bit late, so I want to see how this works a little bit to see, if some people come in tonight. But I definitely want to talk about this because I'm working more on and getting into more of how automations and how AI can actually help you your business grow. And so last week we talked about the quality check. Assignment is not assurance. The work is not protected until the standard is checked. All right. So the work is not protected until the standard is checked. So just because we assign somebody a big, just so we assign somebody a task, it doesn't mean that it's assured. It doesn't mean that it's the level of quality that we wanted to happen. And again, being in the service business, being having that we have to depend on other people to actually do the work that we need done as we start to scale up and start to replace ourselves with other people, then we want to make sure we have certain systems and certain things set up. That way they can kind of keep our focus or keep our quality in line with what we're doing. The company shouldn't fail or shouldn't fall down just because you put other people in the building. And that has happened for me over the years in the business. I'm telling you, I put people in there. I gave them the game. I told them what I needed them to do. I showed them how to clean. And for some reason, until I actually make sure that we have people going behind them and checking, that quality seems to fall off. It never fails. They'll do good for a little while, and then they will actually start to fall off. And that's one of the things that's real big in actually getting more clientele too, because some of the cleaners or other cleaning companies or other businesses, rather, they will actually be good for a little while, and then over time they will start to fall off. So this is where we start creating loops and started creating other things that actually set you up so you can actually be successful, right? So tonight, the next step, what the next step is what happens when the standard fails. What happens when the client complains, the handoff get missed, the proof is missing, the job is late, or the results does not match the promise. Most owners either hide from the issue or overreact to the issue, or personally become the entire fix. That's what I did a lot of times. Um, as we start to grow, right, we'll start to tell ourselves that we might as well do it, right? We might as well do it. I might as well go ahead and fix that. Now, if you continue to fix the issues that your team has, then you will continue to fix the issues that your team has. Say it one more time. If you continue to fix the issues that your team has, then you will continue to fix the team issues that your team has. The team will not grow. The team will not learn. The team will not figure out, and you won't grow either because certain times you want to be able to see what this is about. Hold on, let me see. All right. Okay, we gotta turn this notification off. You can't be messaging me. All right, so certain times, all right, so if we continue to be the fix, right? So we continue to fix the problem. We just say, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It's quicker for me to go ahead and knock it on out and fix it versus having to tell somebody, then having to go behind them and then having to make sure they've done it. But what that does is that stops the what's the word I'm looking for? It stops the trust that your team will have and you need to build just to be in the position that you want to be. All right. So that's not a system. That is pressure sitting on one person. The mistake is not what destroys trust. The repeat mistakes, what with no ownership, is what destroys trust. So as long as we keep making the same mistakes and we don't give nobody ownership, then this trust is destroyed with the company and our client. So I remember that I had this real big contract, and we was going in, and I did not. One of the mistakes I did not issue, I tell one person that they was the person that needed to handle certain things. I left it to chance. I left it to say, okay, I know y'all two are the best cleaners. Y'all show up on time. And so I knew those two people had qualities that maybe needed to run the team, but I never gave them specific jobs or specific areas to manage. So therefore, when I showed up, I was always fixing something. I was always getting it to, and I didn't understand why until after I later find out that I did not delegate leadership to the person. I did not delegate who needs to own what. And even if you're with a small team, you still want to delegate who owns what. Some people might say, "Man, I don't have number three people," but that's enough. You and someone else. First of all, you have to delegate what you're looking to have other people do. It doesn't matter if you and one other person. You start to segment, hey, you do this, you do this, and you do this. All right. And then I do this, this, this. Another issue that I had when I had a partner of bringing them into the company. And if you don't have lines drawn on who does what, your team will feel unvalued because you're crossing the barrier. Yes, you're the owner. I am the owner, so I need to make sure things are done. But if I don't allow my team, sometimes they take a long time. So I have to figure out certain ways to get them motivated or to get things done and not step over their toes because they will always feel like, all right, he gonna do it anyway. And so that will hinder your growth as far as building the team. All right. So these are mistakes that service business own they make. I talk to many different service owners, and they say that I can't find no good workers. I can't find nobody that want to work, and that may be true to a certain extent. It's not that you're going to find the same. I mean, you hire 10 people, you might not even get a good one out of those 10. If you go another 10 more, you might get good one, and you might need to go another 10. So a lot of times, us as owners or founders, we get frustrated and not finding that person quick enough. So we result to go ahead and do it in ourselves and say we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna worry about it. And that's the issue that I've seen a lot of business owners have. I've talked to people that's in plumbing. I've talked to people that actually does wiring for homes. So I talked to many different people, and it's not just in the cleaning business. Because for me, at first, I was thinking that the cleaning industry is a high turnover area. I mean, I'm like, we can't get people to work. We can't get this done. But once you find good people, then you want to make sure that you give them um, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsibility. And you want to make sure that you go behind them and check behind them. Okay. So the correction loop is simple: missed, own, fixed, learn. The first missed, name it. So if something missed, all right, so you had a walkthrough, you had a client that you want to see, and you missed that. What happened? What broke? I'm gonna tell you what happened to me recently. So I had some people that wanted to actually look into services of W.A.D.E Global AI, and they I had like 4 people that actually set up consultations for that. Now, I didn't know that they set up consultations because I didn't have it to where when they set up and book it, it gave me an email. So the system was broken. I missed all 4 of them set up for Monday, which was yesterday, and I missed every last one of them. So what I had to do is I had to send out an email, send them the link, and then I'll correct the system to say, hey, when people book a consultation, when people book something, I need to make sure that I get an email and they get an email, right? So that's a broken system. Now, I didn't know that it was broken until something happens because I didn't have so many people. Usually, I talk to a person, send them the email, or send them the link, and then boom, we set it up. Right now that you're starting to depend on other people, you want to make sure that you have a system going in. And what a system is basically a set of standards that you run that makes sure the operation or whatever you're talking about runs for you. And a lot of times, as you start to follow me and we get more into the AI, those things are ran on loops. It's like a loop, right? So, say for instance, you got a walkthrough. You have a VA calling. You have email going out. You have somebody just actually book from your website. So, get that set in. Now, how are you notified that that happens? They book on the website. Does it go into your CRM? When it goes into your CRM, is there something that emails you to say, okay, we have someone booked and they schedule this walkthrough for this day, right? And then you go on the walkthrough, and then after that, you send in your proposal, and then those certain loops go around, right? So right now, if we were talking about just a simple loop, the loop would be you book something for with the company, it goes through the software, it sends an email, you do the walkthrough. That's a simple loop. That's just a simple loop, and you want to make sure that loop is connected, so therefore you know that it's going to run fluently for you. It runs flawlessly, and sometimes again, you want to see where the issues are in the things that you have set up. Again, as we start, we are doing so many different things that we forget to think about the process that it goes into handing it to someone else. I'm gonna give you a prime example. When I started the cleaning company, I was going out and I was looking for my own jobs. I was looking for my own bids. I was looking for my own everything. I would go out, I would talk to somebody, I would come in, and they would book a walkthrough. I would know it already because I write it down on. Now, when I have a team, that no longer works for me because if I write it down, then how does my team know to be looking for the proposal to come in? Because then I'm gonna get busy, and then my proposals don't go out in an efficient amount of time because I was working on a self-propelling loop that actually just caused me everything go over and over and over. And as long as I was the person doing it, I didn't get it. But as you start to get more people and you put more trust in your team and you put more trust in the ability to deliver for your client without you being there, you want to make sure that certain things are checked and checked repeatedly. And how do you know that it needs to be checked? Well, when it breaks. As soon as something is off, you go back and you see, okay, well, this is broken. And I'm gonna tell you again, what broken for me. I was doing it all. That was the bottleneck. That was the broken system. It was me going to walk and knock on doors, doing cold calling as you're going to walk it. I had a cold caller, right? But when I put something on the calendar, or when she put something on the calendar, she didn't know, and I didn't know because I wasn't using the calendar that I had her using, right? So again, they're doing the calling and put something on my calendar. I go out and I have things that I was doing, different networking events, different things that I was going to. Now I'm not putting it on the calendar. So what happened? I got double booked. I was having to cancel my networking events that I was going out to procure more business because I had a walkthrough. And I could have fixed that early on, but I wasn't thinking in systems. I wasn't thinking in loop. I was thinking, man, I'm just gonna make it happen. And a lot of business owners that I talk to today, they just making it happen. Bro. I'm just gonna make it happen. Well, how does this work? I'm gonna make it happen. And you get this thing that comes in, and you just make it happen. But you want to get out of that mindset. We want to take it to the next level. We want to start setting up certain things inside of our company that actually helps us to move that needle forward. You want to start building a team. All right. Now, one of the things I hear a lot of people saying, well, my team works at different times a day. That's fine. They can work at different times a day. I have people in the Philippines that work 13 hours ahead of me. So right now it's July the 8th. Right now it's July the 7th. And so when I came in, I come in on a walkthrough today at 2 o'clock. It's 3 a.m. their time. Now, if I don't have nobody on shift, then how does that actually work to where they can get the proposal to them in the morning? Those are some issues that I had. So I had to create systems. I had to create loops, so to speak, that actually ran circle round and around and around. So therefore, that when these things happen, I can see what's breaking. And I can remove myself so I can actually look over and be like, okay, all right, well, all right. So if I give them the proposal, I get that too, right? I said I did a walkthrough at 2. Now, if I don't give them the information until 10 o'clock that night, it's 11 o'clock a.m. their time. I might have missed the person that was actually going to put proposals together that gets it to them instantly. So now I have to wait for a whole nother day to get it to them when I really had the information. But I was doing so many other things that I did not get it to them in an efficient amount of time. This is why I created certain systems. Because when you're working with people in different time zones or time frames, then you want to have a system that protects the trust of the company. And you still can deliver to the client as you want to, right? So those are some of the issues that I wanted to talk about as I get more into this building the correction loop, making sure that we have certain things corrected in the company. All right. So do not make it emotional. Right? Do not make it emotional. Do not make it vague. What was promised, what happened, and where did the standards fail? That's what we want to find out. We don't want to be emotional, right? So you miss a walkthrough. You miss something that you wanted someone else to do. So you make it a vague scenario. You say, okay, well, I need you to put this proposal out. That's vague. I need you to send the proposal out within the next 12 hours. And I need to have a scope of work because I have to approve it so it can go out. That's another part of the loop that may break. If you're waiting on someone to put your proposal together and now you have to approve it, it depends on when they send it to you. Are you asleep or is it another day when you approve it? Then if they have to fix it, you have to send it back to them. And then again, now you prolong in the process. All of these things that I'm talking about, I went through, and the reason why now I create a system that handles it flawlessly for me. And again, do have issues with the system. So when I say handle it flawlessly, I mean that it handles it the way that I need it to handle. Did I have to fix those loops? Of course. I have to fix every loop that I create because with new people in, you have different issues that you have to handle. And so I took into the consideration that I had teammates that was working in another time zone. I took into consideration that I had teammates that was doing day building and some doing night building. So how do we actually correct those things, right? When you have some daytime buildings, some nighttime buildings, you have teams working in different locations. How do you actually build trust in the company and help your team grow on all areas? That's what we want to talk about. How do you do that, right? One person, you have to sleep sometime. Well, I barely slept, so but you do have to sleep, right? Sleep is necessary, necessary. So you want to make sure that we have certain things set up. I talk to people and they say, hey, I don't know what to automate. I don't know where to go with this automation. I don't know if automation is for me. Well, okay, let's check out your loop. How are things handled? How is things handled? What is set up for you to send out your proposal? What is set up for you to do your follow up? What happens if no one actually answers the proposal that's sent in 3 to 5 days? Do you continue to call them, or do you continue to focus on the next run or the next client that you want to procure? Because if you want to follow on the next client, but you're still looking back to the client that hasn't responded, then you might need to have something inside of there so you can stay looking forward, and that is handled on its own. Now, sometimes people might say, "Hey, I don't have enough money for the BAs. I don't have enough money to do that." But then that's another problem because we have financial understanding of what we need in the company. We have to set aside some money so we can set these systems up so we can actually grow in the way that we want to grow. I talk to clients right now or business owners now, and one of the issues that I'm seeing that they're having is actually having money to actually get these systems in place. It's not that they don't want them, it's that they don't understand or don't see the benefit because of the money that they need for today won't allow them to build for tomorrow. And that's another correction loop that we must have, right? So I say service business mistakes. Another mistake that we have is not making sure that we have a structure for our finances. When the finances coming in, are you keeping it in just one business account, or do you have it in separate business accounts so you can look and see exactly what those are for? Because if you have an owner's compensation account and you have an operations account, and then you have a tax account and a profit account, then you can have different accounts. Then you say, okay, well, I'm gonna use some of the profit of the business for these past couple of months, and I'm gonna sit in the automation. That way, when you sit in the automation, or when you get a VA, AI to do some things for you, then you know, okay, well, I'm gonna use this money to do this. It's gonna free up some time, so therefore I can go and do that. Another issue that we have in correction loop and protect trust. What is the next step? One of the good things about having a coach or someone that's been in business or has some more things going on than you have is that they can help you look further than what you can see. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. So when I got into the company, in the business, in the cleaning business, it was 2017. I like to tell the story. By 2020, I was financially free. Now that took 2.5 years for me to actually get in position to actually build my company up, to actually have $5,000 coming into me that I didn't have to go into the building. Now, did I actually not have to go into the building? I should have. But I thought that I was making the money and people was in place, and I didn't do my inspection. I didn't go in and make sure my team was rallied. I was so grateful to actually have these people working for me and me having this much money coming in because I didn't have that much money coming in legally. And every month. Come on, man, $55,000 and you're not working in 2.5 years. Come on, man, that's unprecedented numbers for me, right? Some other people might have done bigger and better, but for me, I was amazed. So when I was in that system, or when I put them together, I didn't know what next to do. I didn't have a business coach. I just went to the gym in the middle of the day. I went to go grocery shopping in the middle of the day because I was on listening to people on YouTube and they was telling you how most people are at work, and to cultivate or save time, you will want to do these things when everybody's at work so you can get in and out quicker. And I was loving it, right? But what was I to do in the business? I didn't know. And so that's where a coach or someone that has a little more understanding of the systems that they put in place can help you out, right? So back to these decisions that we make, right? So we don't want to make decisions that are vague. We don't want to make it vague, and we don't make it emotional. When you find something that is broken in your system or broken in the loop that you create, let's go in. You want to analyze it. You want to make sure that it's done, uh, looking for effect that it may have. All right, so I have this system set up. I go do this walkthrough. I talk to these people, and I send my VAs the numbers. Now, what is happening that I'm not getting my proposals out for 48 hours? When I just sent my VAs the numbers when I got back, well, I had to sit down and think. I was needing to do too much looking at the proposal again. I wanted to make sure the wording was correctly, making sure you got the numbers in there correct. And so by the time you send me the proposals and I send it back to you and you fix it and send it back, then we send it, it comes to 48 hours. But I'm trying to deliver it in 24. So I fixed that now. I have a system called the bid platform that as soon as I walk through my walkthrough, it actually I can see the proposal right there. And I look at it now and I send it right to the client. I can get the proposal to the client before I hit the car. I could get the proposal to the client before I hit the car, and they can have a text message that said, "Hey, your proposal is ready," right before I hit the car, and then I'm done with it, moving on. This is where automation and AI can actually take your business to the next level, your efficiency, right? But before I got there, I went through a lot of issues. I went through a lot of fixing things. I went through a lot of trial and error. All right, so what was promised? What happened? Right. So, and where did the standards fail? That's what I wanted to see. What did I promise the client? I promised that, hey, I will get you to in the next 20. I used to say 24 to 48 hours just to give me a buffer. But to be honest, sometimes it didn't hit the 3 days. Sometimes I didn't get them to the 4 days because of how my system was set up. That loop that I was in, I was so busy doing other things, trying to go clean buildings at the time, that by the time I got the person that was putting the proposal together, it didn't go out on time. Now, was I putting the proposal together? No. And I bragged on that. I'm like, man, I don't do proposals anymore. What was my system set up correctly to where what I was promising my client, potential client, was I delivering on? I wasn't. But I had to take a hard look and see, okay, well, what is the issue? I'm I'm doing too many back and forth, back and forth. So I find out how to cut that out the loop. Now I have a better system. All right. And where did the standards fail? Well, the standards usually fall on the owner. You usually are the person that's, if you're the business owner, the founder, the CEO, or whatever you want to call yourself, you are usually where the standards fail. And it usually fails before because we're not giving enough information to the team. We're not conveying what we need to happen to the team in an effective way to where they can read it and do it. We are using words to paint pictures. Huh. That's another one. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. But when you're in the game and you want to give your team a verbal picture of what you want to happen, sometimes a good thing to say is paint it done for me. Paint it done for me. I use that a lot with my VAs. I use it a lot. Paint the picture done. What does it look like done? Okay, but this is what it looks like done. It looks like that we get the walkthrough put on the calendar. I get a notification. The notification notifies the client that we have a walkthrough. That way, when I get there, they're not loose, like, I don't remember you came. So we want to make sure that they know we came. I want to know that I have a walkthrough because I have other things going on. I might forget. All right. Then when I go through after that, I want to make sure that we get it back in 24 hours. Now, how do you expect us to do this? painted. That's painting it done. I gave them exactly how it looks. Now, when they see it and they can, all right, well, sir, if you want that to happen, then I need to get it at a certain amount of time. I need to get it here so that I can send it, and then I need to get it back to you within 3 hours so you can look at it, and then we can send it. Those things didn't happen when I was doing this. I never done that. I was just looking for things to actually take place and shape up on its own. And that's one of the things of what I was talking about earlier, making things vague. We make things vague in the company and we wonder why we're not putting the systems in place and people are not doing what we need them to do. We don't have it written down. If you can go and write down, if you have something written down and they can actually read it, step one, step two, just like ingredients when you're cooking. Now, I'm not a chef, right? But when I cook, I go up on TikTok. What is it? TikTok. Or I really ask ChatGPT. I ask it to tell me how to cook, what I need to cook, and it tells me exactly how much to get, exactly when to put it in, exactly how long to leave it. If I need to put it in the middle of the oven, the top of the oven, do I want to turn it, take the aluminum foil off? All of that good stuff is actually told to me. Now, that is similar to how we got to give the ingredients of the team. I mean, ingredients of what we're doing to the team. All right. So somebody has to own the fix and the client communication. Somebody has to own the fix and the client communication. So just as I was saying, the ingredients that we have to put into it. Now, let's move on to let's go on to let's see what I want to talk about next. Let's move on to issues, right? So say for instance, we'll do a little summer drink. Oh, well, and then now I got some water right here. I only have my water right here. All right, so say for instance, we have a a complaint, right? Who handles a complaint? I don't handle complaints. I don't handle no complaints. I don't handle too much of anything in my cleaning business. Only I look at everything. I look over everything. Now, who handles a complaint? Do you have someone that can actually handle the complaint, and how are they notified? This is where software is. A lot of times people don't want to spend the extra money into the software because they don't see the benefit. The reason that you spend money in Slack, well, Slack is free. I tell people about Slack all the time because that's what I use free for the initial setup. But I didn't put my clients in there. I just connected to my team. Now, reason why you want to get software is because when a client comes in and has an issue, you want to see it, but you don't want to be the person that have to handle it. So I have teammates in there in the channels, right? They're in the clean check channel. Clean check is a system that we use that actually does all of our operations for us. It handles our client inspections. It handles when our clients has complaints. I can see how my manager handles it. I can see when my finance has a problem. I created Clean Check through W.A.D.E Global AI because I know what cleaning business owners want and what they need. I'm a cleaning business owner and I don't want to be in the day-to-day operations. I want to actually understand how the company is running. I want to fly over the situation and I want to be able to handle it effectively with not being the person that actually has to handle it. Wow, that's crazy, ain't it? It can happen, right? But software is something that you must have because when my client has an inspection, we had a miss clean this weekend, right? So we had a miss clean this weekend, and I was a little frustrated because my team should have caught that. It was 4th of July weekend, right? And so one of the guys that we had on the team, he quit, right? He just decided he didn't want to do it. He had to do the building on Saturday, but that was the 4th, so he could have done it Sunday. Now, what we have is that when the person does not clock in at a certain time, it alerts the team. But what happens now is that the team doesn't pay attention to the alerts because usually people go in late, they go in when they get ready. So when that happens, that the alert goes off, they were like, "Oh, they're going to show up," and now it's starting to bite me and us in the butt because that guy didn't show up at all this weekend. So I got an email. Well, I actually got a message inside of the Clean Check app that we had a miss clean. And I didn't nobody respond because I was waiting for my team to respond. I seen it, but I didn't respond. And so he sent the email in. Again, I still didn't respond. I seen the email. So when my team got to it, I wanted to see how they was going to handle it. Well, they handled it. We made up the clean. Everything is okay. But If you was missed the beginning, you would have noticed that I said we can't be the person that handled the issue because we will always be the person that handled the issue. If I'd have messaged him or messaged him back inside the app when he said we missed the clean, he would just, why would he talk to the team? He just come straight to me. But I seen how the team handled it, and I was doing how to handle it. Now I can also let them know that when those alerts come off, we need to pay more attention because there's no reason that we should have missed that clean. Somebody should have told the client that, hey, we're missing this weekend and we'll make it up on Monday or Tuesday. Uh, the cleaner, he quit on us. He didn't show up and we booked up on Sunday, so we'll make it tomorrow. That's proactive. But what we will end up being is reactive. Now, build the correction loop that protects trust. That's the mission of the day. And how do I do that? Well, I'm going to talk to my team. They have a meeting tonight. I hope they addressed it. And I'm going to listen to the meeting note to see if they addressed it. Now, if they didn't address it, I'm going to send something to them that said, hey, this was an issue we had. Y'all didn't say nothing about it. Right? I still haven't said nothing to them about it yet. I want to see how they handle it. I want to see how they get it together. To build a team, you must have trust in that they're going to handle issues. Do they handle it the way that I want it to be handled all the time? No, they don't. But we still must understand and have situations or have loops or have certain things to where we can actually see that they are handling it in their way. So therefore, you can correct it or you can say, okay, I like how they handle it. And right now, I like how they're doing it. But one of the things that we need to talk about is why did the alert go off and no one picked it up so they can tell the client that, hey, we missed the clean on Sunday. We'll make it up on Monday. We'll be there because we have a system in place to do that, right? So those are some of the things that I want to talk about. Now, if everybody knows about the issue, but hold on, let me see. The correction loop is simple: missed, owned, fixed, learned. Okay. So what's missed? Who owns it? How do you fix it? And what was learned? That's simple. All right. So we missed the clean. Who owned it? Well, I seen my manager get in there and he talked to him and said, hey, we'll come Tuesday because he was busy Monday. All right. So now we got to fix that thing. Right. We got to fix it because if we have a system, clean check, that is actually used to see when a client or a cleaner didn't show up, we have that already in there, but y'all not looking at it. Why? Is it because we're setting the time too soon? If they don't show up in 15 minutes, it sends you an alert and they might be 30 minutes late. Well, let's change that to where it goes off an hour after the time they say they're going to be there. So if they say they're going to be there at 7 and no clock in by 8, let's get an alert then because now it's a problem. Or if it doesn't need to be 2 hours, right? So that's what the system, that's how we're going to have to fix it. Now, what's learned? Well, for me, what's learned is that something is wrong with the system. Something is wrong because they're not looking at the alerts. It's becoming numb to them. They're not seeing it because it comes. It's coming, but it's maybe too cool, right? So, boom, that's what we're looking at. That's my fix. But I want to see how they're going to fix it first. So again, you have to build trust in your team, and you have to allow them to kind of step in and fix certain things. Right now, I'm not out the cleaning business, although I don't do the cleaning, and I'm not really in my cleaning business. Now, this is why I like to talk to cleaning business owners. I like to talk to service business owners because the fact of the matter is, if you're still in the day to day, it's a couple of issues there, and one of them may be finances. All right. Now we're talking about loops that protect trust, but the financial loop is a loop as well. When the money comes in, how do you segment it, right? And until I did that, I was in the building. I was in the building. But I have a system, a financial structure that even when I was away from my business for a whole year, my business still ran without me. I was away for a year and I ended up having more money when I came back than when I was gone. And that's because I have a structure of how when everything comes in, it gets set down in percentages. And I know that this is the owner's compensation. This is for me. I can take this portion out for my pay. Now, if I don't make enough there, then I might have to jump into a building. But I have other means of income, so therefore I'm okay right now. All right. So the first miss. All right. So the first miss we named what's broke. All right. So we missed the clean. What's broken? I just named the system that's broken. The alert is going off. but y'all not paying attention to. Y'all have gotten numb to the alert due to the fact that it goes off 15 to 20 minutes when the person not misses that time. And so a lot of times they come in a little later, right? And so now we need to change that alert to come out a little later so that when it goes off, you can see that it really means something. That's what I think is broken. But again, I'm gonna let them tell me. All right. Do not make it emotional. Right? As I said earlier, don't make it emotional. Don't get frustrated. I was very upset when we missed the clean because I don't like missing cleans. When I was doing the cleaning, I never missed a clean. I never missed a clean. I go to clean sick. The flu and everything, I'm making it happen for my client. But now I gotta okay with it. I have to figure out the bounce back sometimes. Right? I haven't cleaned the building in my company for over 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've actually stepped foot in there to clean the building. I have two people that work for me right now that I haven't seen yet, or I have three or four, maybe four buildings that I have never seen either. I have never seen it, but I do know that the inspection is coming in. I do know that the client is pleased. I do know that they have added carpet cleaning to renewed it. They have the carpet cleaning quarterly, and they want us to get up there and do something with some lights. They added that quarterly because of the service that they're doing. So that means that even though I'm not there, the company is still kind of doing okay, right? Now, can we take it up a notch? Of course. This is why we're fixing the loops. This is why we're making sure that the automations and the AIs and the things that we have in the company are moving fluently. I'm gonna tell you one something else, and this is one of the new things that I've done. I have each one of my cleaning people that I have. They have an AI agent. They have an AI agent. Now, what is an AI agent? We're not going to talk about that too much today, but I do continue to drop the AI word. Some people are scared of it, but it makes my stuff so much more efficient. AI agent actually allows me to have a directive that goes out to the team, and when they use their agent, the agents already know. So it stops me from having to tell everybody the same thing when you can just go to your agent. Your agent knows how the company is running. But I have to show them how to do it. So that's another process. That's why we're not going to talk about that. But that's a part of the loop. That's a part of protecting the trust. That's a part about getting the team to actually be on board with what we're actually doing in the company. To actually show them that, hey, this is a better way. And actually to show the client that, hey, this is where we're moving and this is how your service is going to be better. Next thing that we did was we have the Clean Check app. So we was using something called Swept, and we got rid of Swept because I created something. Well, Way Global AI created something that was way better than Swept because Swept had a lot of things that I couldn't do. So we created something that was better and a lot cheaper. And so I wanted to get the clients over to this new app that we're using. How did I do it? I made sure we sent an email to them to show them the benefit of a cleaner building. So how they will have a better service. So therefore they will be game to actually get to this new app because a lot of people don't want to sign in apps and they don't want to get to it. But how I let my team, my clients know this is that you have a direct line unto the admin, right? You don't have to email. It don't get lost in the email. You can send it straight like a text message. We'll be right there, right? And so a lot of times they love it. They really love it, right? So, all right. So now let's go into the next thing I want to talk about. If everybody knows about the issue but nobody owns it, the business has not responded. Okay, so if everyone knows the issue but nobody owns it, the business has not responded yet because the issue comes in. If no one owns that we missed the clean, the business has not actually morphed up to where we're looking to go. It's still stuck on the bottom level. It's still stuck where I have to be the person that owns everything, or either the client not uh, will not be handled correctly. All right. So the third thing is what we want to talk about is fixing it. The client needs to see action, not excuses. So once we get that, we want to make sure that the client knows that, hey, we fixed this situation. This will never happen again. And this is the system that we put in place to make sure it doesn't happen. We call that a plan of action. We have a plan of action to make sure that doesn't happen again for you. So now, there it is. So that's a simple loop. That's a simple loop, right? You find out what's the problem, you find out who owns it, right? You look to fix it, and then you learn about what's missed. Just a simple loop, a simple correction loop, right there. And that actually, the fix it restore trust, right, inside of what you have with the client. So client is happy now, right? The client is happy. Now, again, the team is happy. They learned something. The company grows. I don't have to go down and make sure I'm the person that fixes everything, and we can continue to scale and continue to get in different areas that we looking to get in, right? And so, again, the last thing is what was learned. If the same problem can happen again next week, the business did not learn. Now, notice as I said, the business did not the people. Okay, so the people can learn, but the business can still not have that insight. It's in my head. I know what to do, but my business doesn't. So, and one thing we must do too, we have to separate ourselves from the business. There's a business, and then there's the owner. All right, me as the owner, I am not the business. The business has its own personal number, which is an EIN number. Me as an owner, I have a Social Security. Right? Now I do manage, I do run the business, but again, that's two separate things. So just because I know something, it doesn't mean that the business knows it as well. All right? It only survives this. It only survived the moment. This is where, excuse me. So the business did not learn. It only survived that moment. That's what I'm saying. So this is where systems help. Not because automation replaces accountability, but because a system can remember what people forget. So we ask, why do we need systems? What do systems do? Systems help you help remember what people forget. Prime example, I talked about last week that we do yearly increases. A lot of times people forget. They forget what month they came on. They forget to actually put the data into the system. So now we're skipping our increases due to the fact that we didn't have a system. Now, when you set up something that reminds you, you don't have to think about it. So the goal is to create systems or create opportunities or create structure to where you can free up your team from having to think so much. So things are just running off repeatedly. It's just running repeatedly, right? It's just running, right? So now that's what we all focus on. So those that know, I run AI agency. Well, I don't like to call it AI agency. I like to call it W.A.D.E Global AI because it's a little bit more than just an AI agency. I set up revenue and operational infrastructure. Now, a lot of times when I talk to people and say I do that, they're like, "What does that mean?" Right? So this is the all right. So you have a house, and how do you build that house? You build it on the infrastructure. You lay up the pipes, you lay up the beams, and you kind of scaffold it, and then you put the bricks around the side, and put the tops on and everything else. But you lay the infrastructure on the foundation. Now we have a foundation set. We have a business. We have some SOPs. We have some things that we went through. We have some trials and tribulations that we have an experience of. Right now, it's time for you to lay the infrastructure. A lot of businesses have skipped in the infrastructure stage. They're just going to straight building the company. But what does their company rely on? What systems does their company need to actually keep going to where you can actually scale the way that you want to? That's where we step in. Way Global AI steps in to help that part of the company. So therefore, you have a structure to build on, and you can actually build a lot better, man, a lot better. And I'm not saying that just because it's my brand. I'm just saying that because it helps me build my cleaning company. I'm not only the client, I'm the clear president. I am the client and the owner. And so it actually, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. Well, I'm not trying to plug that in, but I just wanted to say that's what infrastructure is. So how is your infrastructure structured in your business? How are your how are you going through the correction loop that protects the trust of your team, your business, and your client? Right? So, all right. So Automation again does not replace accountability, but because a system can automation can replace accountability, but a system. Let me get the words right. Let me get the words right. All right, so it's not because automation replaces accountability. It's it's because a system can remember what people forget. It can capture issues and can assign an owner. It can request proof. It can remind the team. It can show whether the loop is closed. But the standard still has to be the human. Somebody has to care enough to own the fix. All right. So here we are. We have this loop. We have this situation, right? We have this automation, right? And when we have this automation, we have this system that actually can remember things. All right. So on the third day, what goes on the fifth day, what goes out? On the seventh day, what goes out? Right? What is actually going out these days? And so you don't have to remember, oh man, when the last time I talked to that person? Oh, was it Friday? Okay, well, Friday, the weekend coming in, so that's 2 days. We don't count that. All right, so Monday, it'll be like the first day, right? So all of that is gone. Those are some things that I had to do. All right, if I say I'm going to call somebody back on the third day and I go see him on the Thursday, Friday is one day, Saturday and Sunday, that's the weekend, so that'd be Monday, Tuesday. So I got to put in something Tuesday, I follow up. All right, then I get another person that I meet on a Monday. So now I got to remember to follow back up with this client on Tuesday. And then Thursday, I'm going to follow up with this client, or this potential client. Then I have an issue to come on in the business. So I have a person to call out, right? So now, as you can see, you can understand how business can get to be so laborious and you can feel like you're doing too much or you don't have the structure going. Let's see what's going on. Can I be heard? Let's see what's happening. I just got a message, so I want to make sure that I am heard. Okay, I just got a tick message. I thought maybe I wasn't being heard, but so it causes you where you don't have to remember so much. And I want to memory fatigue and wanting to run a business is some of I think the silent killer of a CEO. Having to remember how everything goes, how to remember how all things are structured, how to remember when this step comes after this step, how to remember who is in what buildings. I remember I knew every building and who was there. I don't remember. I don't know who was in what building now. I don't even know what buildings are cleaning when they clean it. Right. So it's a shift in man freedom. I say, and as I coach people, I build it on the 4F framework: freedom, family, finance, and providence. Freedom, free in the dome, free the way of thinking. Now, when you have systems, you get free, and you can work with your family more, which is the team around you, not just blood, the team around you. So freedom, I free my mind with my system. Now I can work with my family, my team better. We can actually create better finances, and now I can actually give back to you. That's what fatherhood is. What philanthropy actually teaching people the systems that I've been through, the issues that I've had, and what's actually working for me today inside my community. It's really good to have somebody that actually is actually in a day-to-day action. I say in the day-to-day action, I'm involved. I'm involved. I still have a cleaning company. I'm there, right? I'm involved. Um, and it's just amazing, man. It's amazing. So, um, let me see if I got some people in here today. Let's have any comments. Let's see what's going on. We got any comments? Nope, nope, nope. That's a stream yard. Okay, I see that. I see that. Show my stream yard. No comments today. Anybody in there? I had some people coming in and coming out. So, any issues or any comments that we want to talk about? Let me see what else we have going on here that I can discuss before I go out. All right, so if you're on the replay, all right, comment Luke in the chat. All right, comment Luke if you're ready to stop letting problems live only in memory and start building correction standards. Comment Luke if you're ready to have problems, right? To stop. Let me see what it is. Comment loop if you are ready to stop letting problems live only in memory and start building a correction stack. Yeah. So um, just to recap a little bit, I'm gonna bring up some of my slides. I like to do slides sometimes, but I got away from it this time because I didn't want to have to focus on what the slide is saying versus me talking. But I still want to make sure that I can actually bring in slides and show people, hey, okay, I can show you something here. So let's see about it. Let's see what's going on. Let's start with the number one. So let's see about this here, and let's go with every business breaks standards under pressure, right? So when you have a business, you break standards under pressure. Pressure reveals the system. Now you can have everything set up, you can have things running fluently, you can have things running smooth. But once you get pressure, that's where you see that the system needs assistance. Okay. So again, we talked about the construction, I mean the correction. All right. So the fixing it once is not the same as learning from it. So once you have it fixed, you learn from it. I know that business owners now they go through an issue and they fix it, but they don't create a system to make it going over and over. They just fix it one time. So now you got to fix it again. Then you got to fix it again. Are you documenting that fix? Are you actually to route it and saving it somewhere in a Google Drive, inside of Notion, inside of somewhere that when this fix happen again, when you scale up, you already have it solved. You're going to go through the same issues that you went through when you put people in your positions that you went through when you were in the position. If you going through it now, don't go through it for no reason. Don't go through it just because you're saying, hey, I'm going to go through this right now and I'm going to make sure that go through it this way. Go through it and say, hey, I'm going to go through this situation right now. I'm going to document it. I'm going to get what's going on. I'm going to fix it right now on this level. So therefore, when I hire somebody or put somebody in position, they can actually do what I showed them to do. I actually got it documented. Or you're going to have to go through the same situation again. Again, I'm speaking from knowledge. I'm speaking from experience. I've done that already. I did not document it. So I guess some of you won't either. Because you're going to be like, all right, he did it. I can do it. Okay, cool. But go through that. And it's going to be the same scenario over and over. You're going to feel drained. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel like your business is not working for you. You're working for it. Just because while you're in the position, you're in the field, you're not documenting the things that you're going through. You're not actually taking the time out to create a system behind the issues that you're actually having. All right. So let's go on to the next slide. The correction loop. All right. What is missed? What's broke? Own. Who owns it to fix? All right. The fix. What restores trust? And learn what changed. Okay. So it's simple. Miss, own, fix, learn. Miss, own, fix, learn. What was missed? All right. Who owns it? How was it fixed? And what was learned? Now, if you're going deeper and you're like, okay, well, if you're playing multiple positions in your business, like you have the finance, you're the admin, you're the worker, and you're the manager, and you're the owner, right? You're playing those five positions. If you have it written down, when you get a manager, you will say, okay, I did this as the manager. Boom. Now here's the manager. These are the things that you might be looking at. Now this is structure, right? This is structure. And so stick with me. I want to make sure you put structure in your operation, right? Make sure your organization has organization, right? And you're not just running by the seat of your pants, because that happens a lot of times. And right now, I tell you the truth, with AI, you can definitely create structure quickly. You can use your voice memo, your voice notes. You can walk through a building, and when you have a problem, you just pull out your voice notes and say, hey, you know what, this problem was today, and this is how I handled it. And then you say, okay, well, this is what happened. This is how I handle it. You take that, take the transcription, put it inside of a chat in Chat GPT, and have it create an SOP for you. And you can actually tell it to engage deeper, right? I teach a method that when I do my webinars, I teach a webinar on AI, and it's called the steer method. Um, um, and I want you to know this is how you prompt your AI. Now, again, we're talking about building the correction loop. Now, AI, it runs in loops. It runs in loops, right? It actually that's how it runs. It actually does things over and over and over and over for you. So When you go into your system with your AI or your Chat GPT or your Gemini, you want to use this structure, this framework that I have called STEEL, all right? And you actually taking the wheel and getting the outcome that you want each time, where you don't have to start from the beginning. Now, you set the direction, okay? S, set the direction. You set the direction that you want to go. Hey, I'm looking to create a SOP for my cleaning company that we can use going on into the years to come. You target the outcome. I need for it to be bullet point. I want it to be repeatable. I want it to be easy for someone else to learn it and not be confused. You enhance, you engage deeper. You engage deeper. You say, okay, well, when you get that, you engage it deeper. Okay, this is for a office building, or I'm doing this for a church, or I'm doing this for this type of building. After you engage deeper, the other E is enhance it. After you get that first message back, you say, can we enhance this? There may be some loopholes that I might have been missing. And then you write it into reality. You take what you get, you created a PDF, and you store it somewhere. So now when you start to hire people, you can say, well, here's the SOP for handling this issue. Here is how we handle this issue. Here is how we do this right here. Here is how I want my proposal set. Here is how I want my Miss Cleans handled, right? Here is how I want my issues handled. We're supposed to go in 24 hours. Here is how it's supposed to be handled, right? So using the steer method is not really about the cleaning business, but it is how you create great prompts that actually get you what you need and to further what you're looking to do with AI. All right. So again, looking at my channel, you're gonna get AI, you're gonna get service, you're gonna get coaching, you're gonna get a little bit of both. Your leadership, you're gonna get a lot of it because of where the position I'm in. My old stuff, I was in the building store cleaning. I was cleaning a lot, and I will go in and clean just to do some videos from time to time to time. But I'm looking to shift people mindset. I'm looking to shift you from doing the cleaning and being the cleaner to actually being able to run the business and actually scale the business with the system. Actually putting AI tools involved to actually be able to see the numbers coming to you so you can actually know how to capitalize on the information you're getting from your website, how to actually transfer what you're getting from your outreach campaign, right? How to actually do some. Oh man, I got a good thing to happen, man. So we started something that's called Outreach OS, and I was doing cold calling at first, and so I've started to realize that now we want to implement different things. So we started cold calling, we started email marketing, we started having a what else we do? We do text messaging, right? And 2 weeks in a row, I done got a walkthrough. So I'm not really ready to roll that out to anyone yet because it's still a beta test. I'm testing it on my company first. But I can see that using just one form of outreach is not getting people what they're looking to get. Some people just use the cold calling. They're like, man, my cold call is hit and miss. Cold calling is just a one part of the outreach campaign. So you got to start thinking of growing your business as a campaign, not as I'm doing cold calling or I'm walking knocking on doors or I'm just doing this right here, right? You want to stagger things up, right? You do a little cold call, you do a little email marketing, you do a little knocking on doors. You have some flyers that's specifically about the client that you're knocking on the door. They love that. I go to a dentist offices and specifically talking about dentist offices. They love that, right? And I'm gonna tell you the simple way to do it. You have a tool that you can create trifold brochures. And if you have I have a laser jet printer, you can print them at the house. And I bought me a laser jet. I didn't do an inkjet. Inkjet is not as premium. You get you a laser jet printer, right? Cost you probably about I forgot. I bought it years ago. Probably about 150, 200, get you a laser jet printer. But that's an investment on your marketing. That's what you're doing it for marketing. You create your flyers, you go out and you handle, and you're going to do your cold door to door. All right. So some of these tips right here, I know we're talking about building correction loop, right? But I wanted to give, I like to give tips along the way. So just to talk about the correction loop, here it is right here. Missed, owned, fixed, learned. Okay. So what is missed? Who owns it? How did you fix it? And what was learned by the process? All right, so let's go on to the next one. Name what actually failed. Clarity becomes before correction. So what actually failed? All right, so what was the promise to the client? What actually happened in the job, the handoff or the follow-up? Where did the standards break? whether the person, process, proof, or timing fall. Now, we want to make sure we have that label. Assign the fix to the real owner. Again, if someone doesn't own it, no one will own it. If you have two or three people in the company who say, "Hey, this came in," and you're not saying, "Hey, I need person A to do this," or "I need person B, you handle this," then it's not gonna happen. And a lot of times, I'm gonna lie right back. A lot of times that we don't do that, right? We just expect that someone is supposed to pick up the slack, and that will mess things up. All right. So restore trust in a way that the client can feel. The fix must be visible. How we call it here a what's that called? What we call it? A plan of action. All right. So a plan of action. What is the action taken that the client needs that could be seen that they can have trust and decide what happened. It's okay to make a mistake, right? But it's not okay to continue to make those same mistakes and not putting something together that actually helps them out. All right, so the next one is we're gonna go on knock this thing on out. All right, so remove the repeat. All right, learning trust, learning turns a mistake into a stack. So what actually happens? How do you actually fix it? How do you kind of repeat it? All right, how do you make it go on and on and on? All right. All right. So next thing is a system can remember what people forget. Again, I'm going over the slides that I had for this, but I didn't do the slides. And again, if you're watching it this late, appreciate you going all the way through with me. I'm learning as I'm doing this to actually use my slides and actually I like to just talk, but slides actually can help out and you can actually see it better and you can actually stay on point. So I'm learning. So you listen to the first one and you get the recap with the slides. All right. So all right, so the system can help remember when people forget. Right, you capture the issue was written clearly instead of living in memory. You assign what's the owner, who owns it. When this happens, who owns it. You proof. The correction has a photo, a note, a checklist, a result. You actually say, "Hey, make sure you clean that building. You missed it, and you let me show you clean it. Clock in, clock out. You have proof, and then you close the loop. Right, the loop stays open until the trust is restored. So now, as the trust is restored, now you close the loop. All right. Next thing is what this looks like in your business. All right. Let's go with this. A missed the quality check. We missed the final quality check was skipped. One person owns the callback, the client update. Then the fix is the team corrects the issue and sends proof. To learn, the checklist now requires proof before closeout. So we have this right here in CleanCheck. We definitely have that in the CleanCheck app where we schedule the inspection. The inspection is done. We get them a grade on how they do. We send it to the client. We can send it to the cleaner, and then I can see it. The team can look over it. If somebody has multiple issues in the building, you can kind of see what happened. This is why we actually set that up, and it's amazing, man. It's an amazing way to actually run things from a different level, so to speak. All right, now build with correction loop checklist. All right, what was missed? Who owns the fix? What proves it was fixed? What changes after this? Grandbaby making a little more. We're almost done. All right, so build one correction loop checklist. And this is for you. All right. You just watching, build your correction checklist. What was missed? Who owns the fix? What proves it was fixed? And what changes after this? All right. So start simple. Use the next real issue. What real issue are you having in your company right now? Is it a misclean? Is it someone is not calling them back? Is it you losing someone and have to retrain them? Like what is the real fix? Create your loop and see what happens, and then boom, you got something next to move on. All right. So next thing is here, the standards are not real until they survive pressure, right? So comment loop to build a correction loop, name it, own it, fix it, learn from it. All right. So I did it, finished with my slides, and that was a lot better. That was a lot better. And I did it in my hour. That was a lot better. I'm using my slides better. I'm getting better at it. This is a more better slide. But anyway, comment loop in the comments if you want to take a little further and we can talk more about how to create certain loops for you. What issues are you having? We can do an AI audit, right? We can actually, not AI audit, I'm sorry. We can do an audit on your system, see where you may can look for automation, to see where AI may can assist in what you're doing, right? To see what you actually may need where you are. Because everything is not an AI fix, right? I'm having to tell my team right now, quit posting about AI all the time. AI, AI, AI. We do AI. We love AI. I'm enthralled with AI. I'm an AI groupie, as they call it. But everything is not an AI fix, right? Everything doesn't need AI. AI is phenomenal, but everything doesn't need it, right? So comment Luke on the bottom, and we can start talking and actually get down to the brass tacks of the thing. What are you investing in the business? How can you scale out? If you have a team of two, three, or four, let's see what the next step is, right? How do you actually get from here to there, right? I know you see a lot of people saying, "Hey, use automation," or you see people saying, "Hey, you're not supposed to work in your business," but what does it actually look like? Right? If you need somebody to walk you on that journey, I would definitely be there for you, and I do coaching and help you out as well. So, um, this shit ain't doing enough, man. We got to go out here and raise the level that we have in our company. Close these loops, figure out the gaps, make SOPs, put systems in position, start bringing in AI, start bringing in stuff so you don't have to spend so much time actually in your company. Start getting some of that stuff out your mind. You can free the dome, so you can take care of the team, right? And you can start bringing in the finances, and you can actually start giving back to the community, right? Those are some of the things that I talk about, and those are the things that I love. And those are the things that I'm walking down and just talking about it. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the subscribe button, notification, hit the like button down there just to show you like it. And actually, man, comment Luke, and just tell me what you liked about it. Tell me if there's something else I can do to help you out. What things did you like to talk about? Some of those things will come up good in communication, in conversation, where I know exactly where to go with this. Although I got a whole plan out already, but hey, let's see what we like, man. And I'm out of here. Peace.